Hello, Ore Digger fans, and welcome to another installment of Mines MidWeek. We're joined once again by Colorado School Mines head men's soccer coach Frank Kohlenstein. Coach, welcome back to the show.
Yeah, it's great to be back. Thanks for inviting me.
You got it. And first off, I want to talk about this past weekend. Your team got a couple of wins, a bunch of very important wins in the conference slate, including a 1-0 win over Colorado Mesa on Friday, and what can only be described as a very physical battle. The lone score of the contest came on a header from All-American Tesho Akindele on a beautiful ball into the box by Jared Herselman. Talk about your match with the Mavericks a little bit.
We knew it was going to be tough. One of the funny things is right before I saw Ken Parsons, the coach at Metro, he was over to scout us in Mesa, and he said their earlier match with another team had been like a pillow fight. And I said, well, I guarantee you this won't be a pillow fight. And, both teams went very, very hard, and they have a very good team and played us very, very well. And, we were very happy and enthusiastic about the victory. And, David, our new athletic director, was saying to me, he says, I bet that was a good win and felt well. And I explained to him that all RMAC wins and every win here at Mines, especially for the men's soccer team, feels good. So it was a good one, and happy how it turned out. And it was a good service from Jared. And, Tesho hasn't always scored that many goals with his head, and now he has 3 this season. So that's great. It's good that he's getting better and showing that he's a well-rounded player, because he's really one that wants to play on the next level. And if you're going to move on and play professionally and you're as tall and as good an athlete as Tesho is, you got to take advantage of all the things you can.
Exactly.
So we're really happy with the win and felt good about it, but we also feel like we still need to get better.
Yep. Well, I still want to talk about this match a little bit more. There's a total of 6 yellow cards issued, but your squad was able to improve its all-time record against Colorado Mesa to 13-0. Now, I want to ask you, how has your team had so much success against the Mavericks?
I think sometimes I can remember a few times when we were just fortunate. I remember once when we were playing in a gale force wind out at Long Lake, and the wind happened to blow the ball in the right direction, and we kicked it, and the wind caught it and it went in. So it's not that we've had total domination of them, and many of the matches have been just like Friday, very, very tight and close, and they have a good program. And we don't really think about that before we play them. Mm-hmm. It may be on their minds, hopefully, but it's not on ours, because really, if you're going to be successful, you got to treat whatever it is the next match coming up. And history has nothing to do with it, and the future has nothing to do with it, about playing that particular match. And I thought we were ready for it, but we still didn't play as well as the coach would like.
Okay. The squad has had a little trouble putting some scores on the board this year, but that all changed this weekend on Sunday in a big wedge. Team posted a 5-1 victory over CSU Pueblo, including a string in the second half. We had 3 goals in a span of just over 3 minutes. In the first half, it looked like you guys were going to have another 1-0 battle, low-scoring affair, but after halftime, things just kind of seemed to open up for you guys. What changed after the break?
I think, Pueblo, again, is a good soccer team. They try and play attractive soccer and knock it around, and, are fun to watch. And we really hadn't taken advantage of some of the chances that we had in the first half. And for lack of a better term, at halftime, the coach kind of pulled out the hairdryer with the players, and that means that you kind of are a little bit forceful with them, and there's some air blowing at them and their hair goes straight back. And I don't know whether it made a difference, but the team definitely played differently in the second half and showed what they're capable of. And I was really happy that, as you said, the other players got off the snide as far as scoring goals. Bosky had 2, Gunny had 1. One of our freshmen, Vince Cook, scored a goal. So all those things, along with Tesho getting a goal and setting up a couple more, were very important. And hopefully that, will break the dam loose for us, and some other guys will start scoring along with Tesho and take advantage of, everybody kind of focusing on him.
You spoke just a little bit ago about Alex Gunberg, and I want to go back to him for a little bit. He started every match for you guys this season, and after missing basically the entirety of last year with an injury, talk about Gunny a little bit and what different things he brings to your squad.
Well, one of the things he brings is definitely someone for me to holler at. Because, one of our alumnus, who I used to call Goody, who came out to one of our matches, and Gunny was playing, so he said, "Man, it brought back old times when you're hollering at Gunny," because I used to holler Goody at him. So that's one of the positives. But I've known Gunny since he was probably I guess like a freshman in high school or something like that at least. And we have a really good relationship, I think. And Gunny's been through some hard times here, the injury last year and the passing of his mother in 2010. And, he's a guy that the guys kind of rally behind. They like to make fun of him. They like to make fun with him. And, he's a guy that has a lot of potential. He's the fittest guy on the team. I mean, he almost always comes up on any of our fitness tests. And I think that's actually bad for him because, we all know how fit he is, so we expect him to run like that all the time.
Right.
And, the guys sometimes make fun of him because, he's a little bit older because of the red shirt year, and he acts like he's a little bit, at least moves like he's a little bit older. Sometimes I'd say he walks worse than I do, because he's so stiff. But, Gunny means a lot to the team and means a lot to me, and, hopefully scoring the goal on Sunday will help him get started and believe more in the things that he can do and make him even more of a factor. Right now, that weekend he was one of the captains for the team. Because this year we're doing something a little bit different in that Tesho is our permanent captain, and then every week and a half we get our leadership council together and we figure out who's going to be our next 2 captains. So this time it's Tor and Gunny.
Okay. Well, I know for me, being new to being around your program, last year I didn't get to see Gunny at all. And he's quickly becoming one of my favorite players because you see him, he's always moving on the field, and for me that's always fun to watch. Talk about another one of your seniors, Bosky Baker. Kind of got off his goalish night this weekend with 2 scores against EC Pueblo. For your team to continue winning, obviously you're going to have to put up some goals, and Bosky will have to be a big part of that, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, no, Bosky both in scoring goals and helping set up other players, because, he is a player that when you watch us play, he stands out because, we don't have a whole lot of other 6'5" guys on the team. And he has a great deal of talent, and, he has good feet, he has a good shot, and just his physical presence makes the other team notice him. So he is going to be a very important player, and hopefully, his 2 goals on Sunday will help him become more confident, because he's been on a bit of a roller coaster ride, and he hasn't had a season as successful as his first in the last 2 years. So we're hoping that all changes, and I know he can, and I believe in him. We just have to get him to believe in himself as much as the rest of us do. Because it's funny, because a lot of other coaches, they go, particularly when we play Division I teams and stuff, like we did last year. I remember the DU coaches and the UNLV coaches talking about, yeah, well, everyone talks about the Tesho guy, but that big tall guy, he's a good player, he's a handful, and we just need to make him realize what a handful he can be. I mean, that's a 6'5" handful, and you got to have some big hands to handle those. So if he realizes that and comes through for us, then we have a good chance of not only having a good defense, but also an excellent attack. Because the more players they have to focus on from our attack, the better it is for everyone.
Exactly. Well, hopefully those 2 goals this weekend get Oski going, and you guys will just keep on rolling. Speaking of rolling, coming up this weekend, you guys got another pair of RMAC matches coming up. On Friday, you're going to take on Colorado Christian and Golden, and then you're going to head out on the road on Sunday to face UCCS in Colorado Springs. First, talk about CCU and what do you expect to see from the Cougars on Friday, and then we'll talk about UCCS.
Well, it's obviously a local derby. They're the closest school to us, and I think that one of the things about the RMAC in soccer is, at any time anyone can beat anyone. I remember a number of years back, we were like number 3 in the country. And we went over there in a rainstorm, and they had a really good goalkeeper, Chris McClellan, who went on to play professionally. And we took like 30 shots, and they took 2. And it was a match that we knew that if we won, we were going to jump to number 1 in the country. And they put in one of their 2, and we put in none of our 30. And we dropped a match that was, at the time, pretty important for us. So that's the deal, is you got to realize. And then I saw today that they went down to Durango and they lost only by 2 goals. So, it's about being ready and making sure you're prepared, because the RMAC in soccer is, one of the best in the country, and anybody can beat anyone at any time. I mean, this past weekend was a good example of that, whereas 2 teams came in here that hadn't been winning a lot, and gave us everything we could handle. So we need to make sure that every time we try and perform the best we can, because the margins are not very great, both in the RMAC for the conference, and then also to get into the NCAA tournament, which are all things that we want to do. I mean, it's men's soccer is the hardest tournament to get into in all of the NCAA, and from our region, we have one of the best regions, and only 3 teams get in, and it's a shame, but that's what we're faced with, so that's what we have to try and deal with.
All right. Well, fans, just one more reminder. The men's soccer team will close out its current homestand on Friday at 5 p.m. with a matchup against Colorado Christian and Golden. If you come out, every goal the Word Diggers score, you'll get a free bag of chips tossed into the crowd. I think we're going to do 7 for every goal this weekend. And then
from Jimmy John's.
Yep, from Steve Mustin and your local Jimmy John's right here in Golden. And then on Sunday, the squad's going to head out on the road for a 2 p.m. matchup against UCCS in Colorado Springs.
And then, Colin, it's homecoming weekend, and so some of the alumni are going to be back, and hopefully there's fireworks on the field from the men and the women's team, and then there's fireworks going to be down in the park afterwards. So it's a great night to come out. We have the Edge Soccer Club coming out also, and so we're really excited about having a big time here at home on Friday.
Yep, so fans, come on down to the CSM Soccer Stadium on Friday. It's going to be a great time. The men's squad and the women's squad both have big matches, so be sure to come on down. Coach, that's all the time we have for
today. All right,
today.
thanks a lot, Colin. Enjoyed it again.
And we'll see you next time.